Next. Yes, you in the end. In the glasses, you. Yes.
Hi, guys.
Hang on, wait for the microphone.
For Kevin and Scott, you guys touched a little bit on kind of the trippier sequences in the movie. I'm just very curious if you could talk a little bit more about how those were developed and designed, and if there was ever a point where you thought, oh, this might be a little bit too far, maybe we should back off a little bit on that.
I think there were a lot of those points, but we just kept pushing forward, and our amazing effects team led by Steph Soretti did a great job, and Scott was in there right to the bitter end, till about 12:30 a.m. the day before we got on the plane to Hong Kong for the first junket.
Yeah, it was, because we moved the schedule for Benedict, we had a shorter post-production period, really, than we wanted.
Sorry again.
But a longer
to Kevin and Louis D'Esposito's credit, we hired more vendors to start all at once than you normally would have. So we had a lot of the stuff coming in all at the same time. But that was one of the most creatively rewarding parts of the whole process, was to try to think about not just weird, bizarre images, but to try to think about what can't be done. The final sequence of the movie was the result of me just thinking, well, what can't you do? And this idea of a fight scene going forward while a city's undestroyed backwards. Well, you can't, that's impossible. Okay, great, let's do it. And so we designed the scene and storyboard, I'd storyboard out things and then work with the previs team and get it all down and how it looked, and then we figured out how to make it. And so it was about trying to establish, and the same thing like with what we call the magical mystery tour, the whole mind trip scene. It was about drawing out every single shot and some of it being impossible to do. And the result was that the visual effects vendors had to sometimes help us figure out, well, how do we do this? Because it is unprecedented. It hasn't been done before. And some of those ideas didn't work. Sometimes we would try things and we were overshooting. But me personally, I felt like every day I got up for work and I thought, somebody's gonna come knock on my door and say, you gotta back off. This is just getting too weird. And it never happened. I mean, Marvel was really completely behind the idea of trying to push the boundaries of what a set piece in a tentpole movie can be. And that was always the goal.
I'm with you on the Beatles reference. Magical Mystery Tour, very good.
Yeah,
all right,
great,
who else
thanks.
is? Scott Menzel, right there.
First off, I have to say that out of every Marvel movie so far, this is the best cast, hands down. You guys all killed it, so you should know that. And Scott, amazing direction.
Yay.
And this question is directed for Benedict. In the comic book, there's a arc about the Illuminati. Will that be making a presence in any of the future films in the MCU?
Kevin Feige? He is the real Sorcerer Supreme, so that I really would pass that question over to him. It's not mine to answer.
Well, what's fun about the Illuminati, right, are certain characters interacting with other certain characters. So I don't know about that particular storyline, but certainly some of those characters you will see together on screen in the next Avengers film.
Is what I was going to say. But